Hello, we're some people from Yale, and we're interviewing Glenn, who is a poet from New Zealand. How long did it take you to learn Māori?
Well, I went to live in a very small community where most of the people spoke Māori in the northern part of New Zealand, and I was there for about a year, and there was an old woman who lived next door to me, and I would go and visit her, and she would help teach me Māori, and I had a textbook, and I would work my way through the textbook and then go listen to her. And by the end of the year, I was just starting to be able to hang into a conversation, but I wish I knew more. I can sort of get by with some simple stuff, but if people don't want me to really know what they're saying, they just speed up. Yeah, they get faster, and I can't quite keep up with them. So,
are there any British poets that you've been inspired by, and who would it be?
lots and lots. There was a writer called William Blake, yeah, and he wrote about 1800, and I loved his writing, but I also, there's a big long list of them. People like Shakespeare, of course, who wrote amazing poetry, and a writer called T.S. Eliot. I read a lot of his poetry when I was younger, even though I don't write like him. But John Keats, I think, who was also a doctor and wrote poetry, always interested me, and I'm in the middle of writing some poems to John Keats, even though he's not around in this world to chat to, but in some ways I'm writing to the poems that he's written. So it's like having a voice that continues after you've gone. So lots, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Do you write any poems in Māori?
I do, badly, because my Māori is not really fluent, but I can get by. So if I keep things simple, I have been in the last 3 or 4 years writing some poems in Māori or translating poems into Māori, but then I've got a friend who's a very fluent speaker of Māori, and she helps me when I'm wrong. Yeah, she says, no, you need to say that differently. So it's a learning process too, and of course poems in Māori are different from poems in English. Our poems by and large are in books. They never used to be, they used to be sung. But for Māori, their poetry is sung or performed or chanted. So it's not simply written down in books. So you don't just have to compose it in Māori, you have to compose a tune for it as well. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Are you enjoying being in Shetland, and why?
I'm having a fantastic time in Shetland. The people are really friendly, and they're curious and welcoming, and the weather is stunning. It's been beautiful.
It's not always like that.
Look, I'm getting, when you get bald like me, you get sunburned on the top of my head in Shetland. And the other thing is, guys, how do you sleep at night? It's like light all night.
Yes, we don't sleep at all.
I know. It's sort of like I'm walking home at midnight or something, and it's like all the lights are on. Yeah. But also your landscape is beautiful. It's so green. The harbours, the little bays. It's beautiful, and the architecture. The old houses, the old buildings. It's beautiful. You guys are lucky. Were you all born here?
Yes.
I was born in Edinburgh.
In Edinburgh?
I was born in Coventry.
Oh, you're kidding?
I was born in
Aberdeen?
Shetland.
You're kidding me? So you've all come in. Do your parents work here?
When I was born, I came straight.
Mum and Dad are both head teachers at different schools.
And what do you think of coming here to live?
It's really
It's a good place to live.
Fantastic. I mean, you'll never be able to go back to Coventry and Sheffield and all those places, you'll be like missing the seaside and the fresh air and the
It's not always good weather.
No.
You get like hurricane force wind.
yeah. What's the worst thing about the weather? The wind or the rain or
The wind.
cold?
The wind.
Yeah.
Also
So
the
if it gets light like this all the time, it must get dark.
Yeah,
well.
it does.
Yeah,
What's
in
that?
winter it's like dark by like
Really?
3 o'clock.
Yeah. So even at say midday, would it still be quite?
It would be
Gloomy?
it would be starting to get darker.
You're kidding. Yeah. So like, how dark does it get? Like, would you need a torch to walk
Yes.
down?
Yeah.
You're kidding. At 3 o'clock,
Yeah.
would
Yeah,
you
you
see
would.
stars if it was a clear?
Yeah.
No. At 3
Maybe
o'clock?
a bit later than that.
At 3 o'clock it gets like it's like the sky is like dark but you can still like see. But by like 6 o'clock you need like a torch to walk.
Wow. And it's
But
like that. It's like that
Yeah, if
right
you said you need a
through
torch
till
in
late
there.
in the
Yeah.
morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. And does it snow? Do you get snow on the ground or on the hills or?
Well, we get
You get
so
some
A few years ago, we had a lot.
Finland snow, but in like 2006 then we had like snow like past the fences and stuff.
Wow. No, it's a fantastic spot. I like it. I think and there's lots of, as we talked about before, lots of links between Shetland and New Zealand. Lots of people from New Zealand have ties to back here. So
Thank you for letting us interview you.
my pleasure. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.